we were in a detention center. The detention center was like a prison. So something you do that could be very small to you could be so big to someone. It's a long-term project. It's something that I hope one day not only will help a lot of people, but also starts to be commercially viable. Integration is the key, man. Yeah. If you want to grow in this country, you got to integrate, man. Go love fucking football. Go watch a footy game, eat a pie, hang out with the Aussies. They're good people. Don't sign up to shit. Yeah. Go and learn from it and implement what you've learned into your life, and make sure you continue to implement it on a daily basis.
All right, today I'm here with none other than Sam Bashiry. Sam, welcome, and very excited to have a chat.
Thanks, mate. It's good to see you. I haven't seen you for a long time.
Yeah.
So it's been a while, so it's good to catch up anyway.
Absolutely, Sam. I remember a few years ago, we'd always been friends, but I remember some time ago when you were at the front, I think you might have been at the front of, you're on Flinders Lane having dinner.
Yes.
And I was walking past, and we knew each other, but we weren't super close friends, and I could see that you were with about 15, 20 people, and everybody was looking at you, and you were the center of attention and talking. And then I remember I wanted to say hi, but I go, oh, he's busy, I'll keep walking. And I remember you actually ran over to these kind of, you ran away from those 20 people for a moment, and you said, hey, Bo, hey, how are you? And I said, oh, hey, Sam, how you doing? And you know, that stuck with me, you know, so I'd say that, you know, you gave a massive impact on me that night.
Oh, thank you.
And from that point, I think, our friendship definitely evolved. So
thank you, man.
It's great to see you again.
It's lovely to see you too, man. I actually remember meeting you the first time. So Tony and Mick Foley, they rang me out of the blue and they said, oh, we have an event. Can you come and speak? And how much do you want? And I said, oh, I don't want any money, man. They said, what do you mean? You don't want to get paid? I said, no, I don't want to get paid. I'll come and do it for you anyway.
Yeah.
And I went and did the speaking event there for the boys, and I remember seeing you there as well for the first time. I think you had the Mercedes, silver Mercedes or something.
Yes, that's right.
Is that right? I remember, man.
Well, yeah.
I remember. And you were in the car, you were stopping by, and I came and said hello to you, and we met. That was the first time we met.
That was the first time, yes.
Yes, that was probably 5-6 years ago.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
that's
so I remember you from there.
Yeah. 24th birthday, yeah.
There you go, man. I remember.
yeah.
I've got a very good memory. I'm terrible with names, but I never forget events or faces.
Yep.
So yeah, look, and I've always seen you doing what you do. You're absolutely gentleman. You're a very polite person, and you know, for me that goes a long way. And you're always, you know, doing your best. And to watch your journey, it's something that I really enjoy. I love, you know, watching other people's journeys, and I love seeing people grow, and I love seeing people do well in life. So I always kept an eye on how you're going, and I see you doing your best and growing, and then I'll be watching your travels. You know, I get a lot of enjoyment out of that.
Yeah.
You know, I like seeing people do well.
Yeah.
And I love seeing young people do well, especially people from our own country.
Yeah.
So yeah, look, I've always kept an eye, and it was nice to see you. So yeah.
Absolutely, Sam. Yeah, and you give a lot back to the younger kids, the guys that are just coming up and learning and wanting to make something of yourselves. Where do you think that comes from? It
comes from my background. Because I grew up across the road from me, actually, Punt Road, the commission houses. You know, I just saw it before again. I drove past this morning and I saw it again before. We were just young kids, man. We came here with nothing. Like, you know, I came here not being able to speak English, not having any family. I didn't have my dad here. So it's just me, my mum and my sister in a detention center, and then the commission houses. So back then there was no internet when I was growing up. There's no Facebook, there's no Instagram. It was very difficult to reach people. Okay, I wouldn't even know how to go about it, right? So I never really had a mentor. I never had someone to look up to, you know. I had my dad who joined us 7 years later, so it was really nice to see my dad after 7 years, and I had someone to actually, you know, look up to. But during that period, in my early age, I really didn't have anyone to look up to, and as young men, we need mentors, you know. And it's not about fucking going and doing a mentorship program. All that's bullshit. We just need someone to look up to, someone that we can, you know, just say hello, how are you sometimes too. So I know what it feels like. So I don't know, with men it's very hard. You know, with females it's more easier to talk about things. Females tend to talk about things more easily than men. I think, and this is not a bad thing, but we have a lot of ego as men. Like, you know, we have a lot of ego. We don't want to ask for help. We don't want to, you know, look like we need help. So we tend to hold a lot of things inside, you know, and we tend to put a lot of pressure on ourselves. You know, I don't know what that feels like. So for me to be able to use my platform on Instagram, it takes a few minutes of my time here and there. It's not a lot to give back in some way and, encourage people to do well and just talk to people from time to time. And, it's really nice, mate. Unfortunately, you can't do it to everybody. Otherwise, you won't be able to do your job. I've got to live and I've got to make a living and I've got to do my work every day. But I reach out to certain people because I usually watch them for a year or so and I see what they're doing because people tend to come with ideas and they last a month and then they just fuck off. So I try to look for, this person's been doing things for over a year. He's really dedicated. It's nice to reach out and just, have a chat and help out.
Congratulate them a little bit, help them out. Yeah, beautiful. And you've got a very inspiring story.
Thank you.
I know you came from, you were in a refugee camp for 2 years.
Yeah.
So you came over, was it at 10 years old?
Yeah, I was 10 years old, that's right.
And tell us a bit about those earlier days, when you were maybe from 10 till about, 15, 16, 17, were you an angry kid? Were you, how was all of that,
Yeah, I was actually. I think that was probably the worst years of my life. As a young man, you go through puberty and you grow up and become a man around that age. And I really, it was really difficult, coming in to a whole new country, not being able to speak the language and being locked up. We were in a detention center. The detention center was like a prison. It was made for people that overstayed their visas. So they keep them there for a week or two before they send them back to their country. So if you overstay your visa, you got caught, they put you in there for up to a week or two.
Do you remember it vividly?
Yeah, I remember it well. I remember. I actually remember the police officers' faces and stuff still. I don't remember their names, but I remember everything. Yeah.
Were they nice? Was everybody?
Yeah, everybody was nice, man. Like everybody was, it was very regimented. So, you go to sleep at a certain time. You go to the dining room to eat at a certain time. You couldn't bring food from the dining room into their cells. We used to sneak oranges as kids. It's really funny because after we came, they sent 4 other families from Iran. So there's 5 families.
Yeah.
I want to do a documentary about that actually one day. I want to go and find the other 4 families and see where those kids ended up.
That'd be amazing. Yeah.
Because I lost contact with them for the last 10 or 15 years, right? Okay. So there's 4 other families that came after we came. So there's a bunch of us there.
Yeah. And you became quite close?
Yeah, we did. Yeah. We just hung out together all day, with the kids. But yeah, I was a very, very angry kid. I thought that the world's not a nice place. And how can we not live a normal life? We were told after we got out of the detention center, before we went to the commission houses, they put us in a place called the hostel. The hostel was an area where they allowed new migrants to integrate into society. They come in there like it was you get your own house, again you go to the dining room to go and eat and all that.
Yeah.
But we were told we were not allowed to step foot outside that hostel because we still hadn't had our papers. So we were told if you stepped foot outside of that hostel, we'll be sent back to Iran. So I used to sit there just wondering what it's like outside. I wanted to just go outside. I remember one of our friends once said to me, come, I'll take you outside, She was going to Woolworths. So she goes, look, just come with me and I'll take you. And I was so excited,
Yeah.
But she said, don't walk with me. So this lady was walking in front. I was walking like 20 steps behind her. And I had a 10-year-old kid, 10, 11-year-old kid going, what the hell's going on?
Looking around like,
wow, man, this is nice.
Yeah.
I remember she took me to Safeway and bought me a Matchbox car, a white little BMW Matchbox car. It was a very special moment for me. And there's little things that stick by me. We didn't have TV, so one of the people that helped us a lot, I'm Muslim, but one of the people that helped us a lot was the Catholic Church. They were so kind to us, I remember one of the sisters gave us a black and white TV. That was my first TV. I had the knob where you had to turn the channels, and you had a coat hanger as an antenna, so you had to move the coat hanger to get the stations right.
Yeah.
Man, those little things stuck by me, little simple things. You look back, just a black and white TV, but at that moment, it was so precious to me, So it reminds me, it takes me back, and it really is still a lot of stuff in me in terms of it's nice to give back, and you don't know how much someone will appreciate something small, right? So when you think about it now, it's just a black and white TV. Yeah, fuck all. But for me, at that moment, that was so special.
Massive,
So when you don't know where people are in their lives, so something you do that could be very small to you could be so big to someone.
Yeah, it's about impact. You might do something, small and it gives such a big impact on somebody's life.
Man, 36 years later, I still remember that moment.
Yeah,
you know, and it played a very big role in my life. So that's why it's important.
You remember
to give
that
back.
forever.
Yeah, it's just important to give back.
Yeah, definitely. And so you were in the detention center, or you were sort of. You weren't really allowed to go out to the outside world for 2 years, 4 years.
The detention center was like a prison. So 2 years we were there. 2 years, couldn't go out. And then we got out. We went to a hostel in Springvale.
How long in the hostel?
I don't know. I think 6 months or so. Okay. And then we got out from there, and then we moved to the commission houses. We were first in the commission houses in Preston, near the Preston market.
So you'd be in Preston, you're 13, 14, 15, this kind of thing? Yeah.
And then we got a place in Oakley, and then I went to school there and stuff.
Okay. And, how were you, I suppose, like at 15, 16? Like, did you play sports? Did you have like an outlet for... No,
I was a pretty violent kid. I was pretty rough. I used to get into a lot of fights when I was young. I had a massive anger management issue. I was pretty rough kid. I got into a lot of fights. I did
too, actually.
I look back now. I would not fight with anybody now. It's just definitely not me. But
where do you think that comes from? Like as a young kid,
I think we had nothing to lose, and we had we built up anger, what I mean? And we didn't know how to deal with it. And we were brought up, especially...
Kind of angry at the world.
Yeah, and also I grew up in a country where, I grew up during the war in Iran, so violence was just quite normal.
For sure. And then you started to get kind of into your 20s, like say when you were 20, 21, were you trying to go to university, or you didn't do that?
I went to university. I went to La Trobe Uni first. I dropped out after first year. I went to Swinburne, and then I wasn't interested. Like my parents wanted me to be a doctor or an engineer, and I got into a double degree in La Trobe. I think it was computing and electrical engineering, and then I got into a computer instrumentation or information technology, same thing, in Swinburne. I had no interest. I just fucked around the whole time. I didn't want to look, man. Like I had a very short attention span, man. I think after all these years, I think I might have ADHD. I never realized that till now. Like, I've had a few people tell me in the last 12 months, hey man, maybe you have ADHD. I'm like, first of all, I took that as it's a bit of an insult. I thought, fuck, why are you saying I've got a sickness? But I realized that actually a lot of us have that. And
that's a compliment. All the successful people have it, actually. It's actually a good thing,
Yeah, I couldn't concentrate. I couldn't sit in the room for more than an hour. It would just drive me crazy. After half an hour, I would just get the fuck out,
Yeah.
So uni wasn't for me. I just went through the motion, but I didn't really learn anything.
Uni sort of wasn't for you. And then when did you realize, like, where did the hunger come to want to be successful, to want to get more out of life? Like, where do you think that came from? Because you guys were quite comfortable in Iran. You had a good life in Iran.
So for me, I think there was a moment in my life in the driveway of my parents' house where I sat in the car and I kind of had a conversation with myself. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? Like, I'm like, I'm one of the cool guys at school, having good, meeting a lot of girls, having fun at uni, fucking around with my friends. But where's this going to lead to? Nowhere, really. You're going to end up becoming a loser. And I didn't want to disappoint myself and my parents. They invested a lot of time and effort and money and a lot of trauma we went through to come here. Like, I didn't want to waste all of that for what? Like, I had to make something out of myself. So that's when I went to look for a job. I got my first job in IT and help desk. This is when internet just came out. So basically, I got paid $7.50 an hour. I used to go to a help desk, listen to people's problems when they couldn't connect to the internet. I helped them connect to the internet. I did that for a number of years, and then I went from that to sales. And then from sales, when I was doing that, I was fucking good at it. I was really good in sales. I wasn't good in cold calling or anything like that. I was terrible at it, but I was really good in building relationships. I got along with people well. I went always above and beyond. I came in first. I went home last. I used to get up at 5 a.m. in the morning. We had a ticketing system where all the new sales used to come in. So I used to get in about 4:35 a.m. and grab all the sales before all the other sales people came to work to grab the leads.
Mad, yeah.
Yeah, man. I used to grab all the leads before they got in and put up the
early bird gets the worm,
Yeah, man. I used to always grab that. I did really, really well. And
nice.
And during that time, there was a lot of acquisitions happening in my industry, and I saw a lot of people. They were in their 40s. This is back when I was probably just 20, 25, 26. I saw a lot of people in the 40s losing their jobs, and I didn't want to be one of those people when I grew up. And I didn't stuck up to people, man. I didn't do Friday night drinks. I didn't do the whole corporate thing. I just went and did my job and fucked off. And I realized that pretty quickly that if you want to grow in the corporate world, you have to really be part of that group. You have to go into the Friday night drinks. You have to suck up to your boss, this and that. It's just not me, man. I wasn't born like that. So I recognized that pretty quickly. And then I decided to start my own business and went on a journey with that.
How old were you when you started your own business?
So 2005, what's that? Like probably just 28, 29.
Nice. And was that the first business that you started, broadband?
Yeah, never did business before that, yeah.
Unreal. So you just started broadband?
Yeah. No, I never done any other business at all.
Wow.
Never. It was my first business. I was good in sales.
What was the first step for you starting your own business? Like, did you start, you could kind of like do a little bit on the side or you start to go, so you didn't quit your job?
No,
you
I couldn't, man. I had no money. So I needed to earn a living. I think I was getting paid $60,000 in the sales role.
Yeah.
So I first of all, I went for a job at a company called Ucom, which is owned by Optus. Back then, it was quite big. I went for a job and I didn't get the job, and I was very devastated. I look back now, I'm like, thank God I didn't get that job. Otherwise, I would have started my own business. So for me, I took $1,000. I registered the domain name Broadband Solutions. I got office number 1 Queens Road. I got the office 911, which is the worst number. No one wanted 911. So I got that, and I got that even that little office. It only fit 2 desks. I got that office even with my school friends. They were doing IT support, and I did this. So we went halvies on that. So even that I went halvies on. And for me, like I put ads up on the bulletin board, which was for free back then. You could put ads up bulletin boards. It was like called Broadband Choice. It was a bulletin board where you advertise your services.
Yep.
I did all that while I was working. You know. So my number 1 goal and aim was to earn what I was earning here. And as soon as I could do that, I'll leave.
Yep.
So as soon as I hit the 60K mark, I left.
Amazing.
Straight away. Yeah. So that was my number 1 goal. And I recommend that to a lot of people. Like, you got to take risks, but you got to take calculated risks in life. You can't just fucking just get up and quit and just start something new, because it's going to take time. Like, it took me probably 6 to 12 months to get it to where it needed to be. It's going to happen overnight. You're going to have a lot of challenges. You're going to have a lot of things. And, you know, for me, like, I was doing the support, I was doing sales, I was doing invoicing. I was typing my invoices up in Word because I didn't have an invoicing system. I couldn't afford to buy MyHelp. And I remember my first invoice, I didn't put the ABN on it, and the customer was like, "Hey, this is illegal. You have to put the ABN on it." I'm like, "Oh, sorry, account's got it wrong." So I'll go and talk to him. One account was me. So I don't put the ABN on it.
Different email address, you know.
Yeah, we had different names here.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, man.
Josie will send that one to you. Josie, 7 emails up. Yeah.
The things we went through, you know. But that's just part of your growth, mate. Like, you know, we always provided, and we always went above and beyond, and we always did best at what we could, and we always had great customer service. So it wasn't relevant, you know, how many people we had, but that's what we had to do, man, to survive. So,
definitely. And your first sort of point of taking action was, I guess you started small, you know. You took action. That's the main thing, I
didn't get a fancy office. I didn't get a fancy desk. All that bullshit, man. Like, I remember in that office, number 1 Queens Road, I used to see so many people come and get fancy offices, fancy desks. 6 months later, man, they used to have that letter thing stuck on their window, and they go out, they kick you out. I don't know if they still do that. But they used to stick that white. I'm like, oh, fuck, another one. Oh, man. So, like, I didn't have ego, man. Like, you know, my ego was for myself. My ego was towards myself, that I had to fucking make something happen. I didn't care about what others thought.
You didn't care about the show, the glitz, the glam.
No,
you just focus on your own stuff, and you're locked in.
Yeah, man. I bought my first Rolex watch when I was 40 years old, dude. Like, I didn't give a fuck, man. I had my other priorities, you know.
Of course.
Like, I wanted to buy houses. I wanted to build my thing.
Definitely.
I was never, like, you know, even with the things I have now, like, I did it at a later age. I never, like, you know, for me, that wasn't the priority. The priority was just about building a legacy and getting the concrete right, you know, foundations right.
You were locked in. And tell us about maybe the early years of success, maybe, you know, the first 3, 4, 5 years, you know, some of the major setbacks and some of the things that, you know, when did you feel like you go, okay, things are changing at this point, you know? Like,
I don't know, like, it just happened. Like, I think when I could buy whatever the fuck I wanted to. Like, I'm like, fuck, every time I bought something, there was enough money still to buy another thing and another thing. And I'm like, fuck, can I buy this? I just bought it, and I'm like, okay, we can afford it. Okay, I'll buy this.
Cool, and then it's topped up again. And
it was a good feeling, but with that comes a lot of other things too. And there's something that I love for young people to know, because we were kids, we came from nothing, okay? So you get a lot of successful people because that success is being passed down from great-grandparents, grandparents, and fathers, and so on. So there's a 200-year history and planning on how that wealth is passed down down, and everyone, like your grandfather teaches you, your dad teaches you, and so on and so on. So you know how to behave with that money. Okay, so a lot of wealthy, successful people that come from generation to generation, you never see how much they have. They never show anything. Okay, so they don't go and fucking videotape everything they do on Instagram because they don't need to. They've been taught well, right?
Sure.
But we came from something that no one taught us.
We're different. Yeah, no one taught us.
So and like I see a lot of people that are growing up and doing very successful now within their own terms. I think one of the biggest challenges is that to stay grounded because a lot of people, it's a lot of hard work to get to where they get to, but they can easily lose it all too. It's just a matter of making sure you don't get caught up in the wrong crowd of people. People get caught up on partying, drugs, this, that. Look, I'm a big thing of. You can do everything in moderation, have fun. There's nothing wrong with having fun. Yeah. But unfortunately, a lot of people with that success, they get to meet a lot of bad people. I don't call them bad, but people that are not desirables.
Yeah.
And they get stuck
low
up.
frequency, they can bring you down a little bit.
Man, and they get caught up with the whole scene. And
for sure.
And they're not strong enough to be able to, maybe have fun once in a while. They get too used to it. And it really affects and impacts them. And they're very good people. They're not bad people. They just don't have the, they have the discipline.
Yes.
So
and it can be difficult too, you're getting offers thrown at you all the time.
Man. You're the king,
They're
man.
fun. People
you're the
are going,
king, bro.
come.
Yeah, man. You're the king, man.
Yeah, it's hard to say no, actually.
Yeah, it is hard to say no, man. So you got to learn to say no. You're the king at that stage in your life because you walk in, everybody wants to know you. Everybody says hello to you.
Yeah.
Like I remember we used to go to Club 23. They used to play a song for us. I remember we used to walk in. They had the angel girl walk us in. We used to feel like kings, We used to wear all the crystal and the dumper. You're on Ace of Base. Like fucking idiots. Like you look like that. But that's just part of growing up.
Of course.
But it's just something that you can't let get to your head,
Yeah.
And that's where you need some people in your life to ground you, man.
Definitely.
It's very important to have them.
Yeah, I think it's important what you said before as well. Men need other men too. Especially boys when they're coming up, someone to look up to.
Yeah.
So being that positive influence, I know that, it's very important for you. Like I hear a lot of the time you talk about ethics, integrity, like all of this sort of stuff. Maybe tell us why is that so important to you? Did something happen in the past? Was there where did this come from? Because people don't talk about it that much though.
It's common sense, man. That common sense is not common sense anymore. I think, for me, when I go to do business with someone or hire someone, honesty is the number one policy for me.
Are you a good judge of character now? What are
I always have been.
Yeah.
I go with my gut feeling. I'm a massive believer that your gut feelings are your angels. So your gut feeling never lies to you. You always listen to your gut feeling, man. With business, you use your brain a lot.
Yeah.
But with people, when you meet people, you usually pick it up. And sometimes they're not going to harm you. But they're just not a good person overall. So you got to be really in tune to your gut feeling.
So people need to listen to their gut feeling more and not ignore it because it's serious. It's actually true,
Yeah, that's your angels, man. Yeah. That's your gut feelings are your angels. That's what protects you in life. If something doesn't feel right, it's not right. If someone doesn't feel right, it's not right. You can meet somebody and they could be the most beautiful person, but just doesn't feel right. There's a reason why that doesn't feel right, I'm a massive believer of that, and I'm a massive believer of karma. It's got to be a good person, man. There's a cost you to be a good person. A lot of people take your kindness as a weakness, so there's a price to pay for being kind and nice. People take advantage of it and use it and abuse it. But you should cut them off the first time they do that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing too. You be nice, you be kind, and they think you're weak, and they do these sorts of things, and they'll try and push the boundaries.
Yeah, they do. That's okay. You have to be smart enough to pick it up.
Yeah.
And I'm a massive believer that if someone does wrong, you don't need to arc up or yell or scream or argue or fight.
Yeah.
The best way you punish people is you just cut them out of your life, man.
Yeah.
You just block them in every way or form, and that's it. And then one day the penny will drop for them.
For sure.
But you don't want to bring yourself to their level.
Definitely. And I know that obviously you got a family, you got two daughters now, and where does I guess faith and family play in your overall business these days? And is the time and the shift of what's important? When did that start to kind of happen, and where are you at?
Look, I when it comes to religion and that, I'm not really religious. So, like I said, I'm Muslim. I went to Catholic church. I did Mass every week.
Yeah.
I don't really care about religion. I believe in God, and I believe in that you treat people like how you want to be treated. So I take that as my religion and my faith, that I treat people like how I want to be treated. in regards to family, I think once I hit my 40s, I think that's when I realized that how precious time is, and how important your time is, and how much you should really value your time. Because that's one thing you don't get back is your time in life. You know, you're never going to get your time back. Once that time is gone, that time is gone. There's nothing you can do to bring it back. So it's really important to spend that with your loved ones and people that love you unconditionally. So family, pets. You know, I'm not a big fan of cats. I don't like cats. But dogs, dogs, family and all that.
Yeah.
They love you unconditionally, man. And I think what we're going to do is that we're always looking for more in life. All right? It's part of our DNA when we're entrepreneurs, whatever you call it, because you're hunting. You know, we're not farmers, we're hunters. We're out there. We want to conquer the world. We want to take everything. So with that, unfortunately, we neglect a lot of things in our lives. You know, people that are there for us, we just expect them to always be there for us. So we're just going out and doing everything else and thinking that.
Yeah.
But as you get older, you realize that, man, what's important in life, you know? There's always going to be, my dad said, you're going from room to room in life, you know? You're moving up from a room to a different room. There's always going to be someone tougher than you, someone better looking than you, someone richer than you. All you're doing is just different levels, from millionaire, multi-millionaire to billionaire. So where's it going to stop?
Yeah.
Right? So you're just continuously chasing. But when you're chasing that, if you continuously chase that, with that, you're losing time. Okay, your time is gone. So the last thing you want to do is look back and say, okay, well, I'm a multi-billionaire today. I have all these nice things, but fuck, I'm 60 years old. What the fuck have I done with my life other than chasing money? What happened? I lost my wife. I lost my kids. I lost my best friends, this and that. I was so consumed by one thing and one thing only, you know. I want to be successful. Success means I have to have billions of dollars. You have to tell the world I have billions of dollars, you know.
For sure.
And I think a lot of that comes from a lot of people's insecurities. And we learned that. Like, you know, I was like that. I was very insecure. You know, I thought, you know, if I wear a Rolex watch, people treat me in a different manner, you know, things that way. If I wear designer clothes, people treat me better. But they're the wrong people, man. You don't want those people in your life anyway. If they give a fuck about that stuff, you don't want them in your life, right?
Definitely.
So as you get older, you realize that family's important. But we all do. But we all do, because we're young men. Like, we're not perfect. But it's just a matter of how soon you learn it. And you realize that your family and your good friends, man, they love you for you. They don't give a fuck what you drive, what you have, this and that.
For sure.
And then you just have to love yourself, okay? Like, I think our ego pushes us to become successful, and all the shit that we've been through in our lives, all the suffering, pushes us to become something, but we forget to love ourselves. So we never really feel good enough. You see a lot of people that show a lot of things on Instagram, right? It's like, why the fuck are you showing all this? Because they just want approval, man. That's all they want. They want just approval.
Yeah.
I used to be one of those people.
Sure.
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
But as you get older, you go, well, fuck, man, why am I seeking approval from who? From fucking strangers? They don't even fucking know me.
Yeah, for sure.
I want approval from my family and my best friends. That's all that matters.
Definitely.
So I think that comes with age.
Yeah. You want to be around the people that love you for you. And
you need people's approval.
What advice would you have for the young guys that are, you know, a bit materialistic, money focused? I want to be rich. I want to be rich. And they have these blinders on. Like, it's okay to be ambitious, obviously, but how are they going to strike the balance, I suppose? What would you say?
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of getting your priorities right. You know, yes, look, money fucking does matter. If a person says money doesn't matter, they're lying to you. Like, you know, a lot of relationships break up because of money. A lot of things happen because of money. So it's the truth, right? Money is important, and it's important to work hard, and it's important to build something and be successful. But with that, you also need to get the balance right, and you need to really find out what the definition of success is to you. A person could have a picket fence and a dog and a normal house and a normal car, and they could be the happiest person ever. And you see a person with all the nice things in the world, that deep down they're miserable.
Definitely.
So let's find out what's the meaning of success, and hang around people that you can learn from. And hang around people that are older than you, because they're more experienced. They're more fucked up. They fucked up more than you. They're not smarter than you. They just made more mistakes than you, so they'll learn. So learn from them and don't repeat those mistakes.
For sure, definitely. And to go, I guess, with a bit of a change of pace, like, you know, in Australia, obviously, like we've seen a lot of changes happen. You know, we live in a great country, first and foremost. You know, absolutely love it here. I don't think I'll ever leave for good, but you know, I've noticed that, you know, over recent years, we have more and more taxes coming through. We have, you know, luxury car tax. We have windfall tax. We have the land taxes that have increased. We have, you know, it's really never ending. We have payroll tax, which really doesn't make any sense. No. I guess, where do we see Australia going? You know, is there smart enough people to start to pull some of these things back, or because they're going to start to lose some of their, these entrepreneurs that are doing things are going to bring things offshore, and like where do you see all that going? Like, what's your mindset around all of this?
I don't know, man. Like, I think like a lot of it makes no sense. Like, for example, let's talk about luxury car tax. So, luxury car tax to protect the car industry in Australia, which made a lot of sense. So we're manufacturing Fords, Holden, Toyotas in Australia, Mitsubishi. So we had to protect that and get more people to buy local cars to protect jobs and create more jobs and protect that industry.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that made a lot of sense. That hasn't been around for probably 5-10 years now. So why are we still paying it? So it's just a matter of, at the same time, they can't just switch it off overnight because you'll see a massive drop in value of cars. So, but they need to work towards something. So that's number one. Payroll tax makes no sense. You get more tax for hiring people, so that's just stupid.
You're giving more people a livelihood, but then
so you get more
you're
taxes, and then you got the state tax in a certain state. Once you hit a certain threshold for pay, you have to pay extra tax on that. Then you got FBT, then you got personal tax, then you got company tax, then you got land tax. I have no problems with all of that. Okay, as long as it's put to use for good. So number one, if we didn't have all of these things, you wouldn't have our safety. Just remember that, okay? So you're not going to walk around with your Rolex watch and a Ferrari, drive around the street and feel safe if you didn't have any of that, because there'd be a lot of poverty. And when people are hungry, they have no choice but to turn to violence and stuff like that. So we try and keep people full so everybody's, we've got a middle class and everybody's happy. But it's just about the decisions that are made with that money, because the government has a responsibility to invest that money properly, the taxes properly, right? And then you see, like, they come up with schemes like installation, bat sleeve schemes and solar panels and this, that, which are all, I guess, for good reasons. But people take that advantage of that. I've seen people that have become multi-millionaires from just these schemes. There are people that make money just from these schemes. And the problem is, that's our money. Man, that's our money that we're paying. And these people are getting rich of it because they're abusing those schemes and doing things, There are companies that, I remember there's companies that we did the phone system for. They were selling courses, and basically the government, every time someone signed up to a course, the government gave them some ridiculous amount of money. And these guys are just signing people up to courses for the sake of signing up to courses. These people never went to the courses, and they were getting paid thousands. I know they're telling you millions and millions. I remember that call center ended up having 500 staff. That's a ridiculous amount of money, man. And that's all taxpayer money. So it's about taxes are good. You got to pay your taxes to borrow money to do all that. So I'm all for it. But it's just about what do you do with that money? How do you manage it? And also, there has to be incentives for young people, entrepreneurs. There should be something like, for example, if you're starting a business, you should get some kind of a tax exemption, because that encourages people to do stuff in Australia. Like if you go to countries like Singapore and all that, I don't know, first couple of $100,000 is tax free, for example, right? So they should incentivize, because we want young people to be entrepreneurs. We want young people to start a business. We want all that. Small business is a very big part of our economy. So I think it's very important to have those things in place. But unfortunately, you don't have that at the moment, and it's it's quite sad.
And with your children, I suppose, like life changing since then. Like, are you happy with like what they're teaching in schools and all of this sort of thing? It's pretty.
When I grew up at school, like, they taught us fuck all that had to do with real life. I never used Pythagoras' theorem. I never used to hear that shit. They should teach about more finances and taxation and all that kind of stuff, entrepreneurship to our kids. So I think the school curriculum has a long way to go, and they shouldn't push stuff like that onto kids.
Do you think they're going to change it in the sense of maybe some things about money or some, how to manage a home loan or credit cards?
I don't know. I don't think they'll do that at school, but I think they got entrepreneur courses now in universities, which is great to have.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Hopefully, starts to get cleaned up a little bit. Have you ever thought of homeschooling or anything? It's not really something interesting.
No, not really. No. But I think my kids did better homeschooling during COVID. I think they actually learned more when their mum taught them stuff. A lot of the school stuff, like especially with private schools, it's more of a business sometimes.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, what's so funny? Like when we were putting our kids to school, like we had to go for an interview. I'm like, why the fuck are they interviewing me? I should be interviewing them. I pay all this money, I have to be interviewed.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous, man.
It's crazy.
It's a big business. It's a big business,
Huge.
And I think they should really focus more on kids and kids' needs.
Definitely.
And I think you should have a freedom of speech. Unfortunately, these days, like I said, like if you don't agree with something, you really cannot speak about it. I mean, you really think about it, right? So let's say this is a free country, free speech, right? Is it really? So let's say you don't agree with a certain thing, and if you spoke about it, you get crucified. You shouldn't talk about it and say, "Oh, these people are bad," or "That's bad," or "This bad." You should never do that. But you should be able to have say, like, I don't agree with certain things, but you cannot do that. So when you really think about it, like, is it really freedom? Is it really free speech? You get criticized if you go against the masses.
Definitely.
Right?
Definitely.
Especially these days. So it's freaky, man. It's really weird, right? I don't know how that works.
It's you have the illusion of free speech, but you absolutely get crucified if you say the wrong thing.
Yeah, man. That's like, you should never you should never preach hate, or you should never dislike people. You should never each their own. I'm a massive believer of that. No one's hurting you. They're living their life. What's it to you what they do?
For sure.
But if you should be able to say, I don't agree with certain things in life.
Definitely. And you kind of can't, which is interesting.
No, you can't. You'll be fucked. You'll be finished.
Yeah, definitely.
So is it really free speech?
Yeah, the illusion of, I think.
When you really think about it, right?
Yeah. That's very interesting. And I notice, like, a lot in the Arab world, like, sometimes they get labeled as like being unfair or, discriminatory and all this sort of stuff. But the way I see it is like, they don't like, for instance, a man and woman shouldn't be holding hands in some countries, for instance, or kissing in public and this sort of thing. But that actually goes for a man, a woman. Yeah. And also a man, a woman, a woman. Yeah. Public displays of affection. So I've seen certain news reporters and this sort of thing try and have conversations with leaders of other countries and go, oh, you don't accept gay people, you don't accept this. And they say, no, actually, we just don't accept public displays of affection because it might be offensive to other people.
Yeah, there might be children around.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so I think like the media is definitely got a big role to play, and hopefully they step up. And
I feel especially in Australia, we have this tall poppy syndrome, and we just want to cut everybody off by their knees when they're successful. I don't know why the fuck we do that. Like, celebrate people's success. I mean, I see people like I see young people that are doing so well. There's a couple of guys that I see doing really well. I'm so happy for them, man. They're fucking awesome. Good on you, man. But they're always like, they're like, you're waiting for them, something to happen. You're waiting for a scandal, like an article to come out about them. Straight, like, it's just like, fuck, man, there's something going to come out, something's going to come out. And it usually does, because they just don't like to see people do well. Yeah. Why are we like this? Why are we out to get everybody?
Where does that come from?
I don't fucking know. Like, okay, no one's perfect. Okay, so what? Who cares if the guy, I don't know, did something silly? How's that relevant to anything? He's like, the guy's helping the world, giving back, charities, this and that, making so much success, paying so much big taxes. Why are we there to crucify him?
Of course. Why do we look at that? Yeah, if you looked at everybody's life with a microscope, I mean, everybody would have something that they're not proud about. But who gives a fuck anyway? Yeah,
you're not hurting anyone, like But unfortunately, this in our beautiful country, we do that a lot. We just tend to cut people off.
How do we change that?
It's a change of attitude, and with the younger people, as we come up with age, a new generation comes up, we've got to teach them that it shouldn't be like that. We should be happy for each other. I love seeing people do well. When I see someone do well, I'm so fucking happy.
I know, it's like just genuine.
Yeah, man. Well, it's not doing anything to me.
Yeah.
And I want all my friends to do well, because I don't want to listen to the bullshit, man. I don't want to listen to them sad stories. I just want them to do well. Don't drain my life with negative energy, man, please.
Sure.
So I want to see my friends do well, because I'll be there next to them.
Definitely.
If my friend buys a 100-meter yacht, I'll be in there with him.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Definitely.
If my friend's in jail, I have to go fucking visit him every week. I don't want to fucking do that. Like,
of course.
So do you know what I mean? Like, it's just about being positive and doing well in life. And we should really want that for everybody. We should be proud of everybody. We should, if you see someone doing well, we should give them a tap on the shoulder and say, hey, man, good on you. At
the end of the day, everybody's got their own situations. They've had traumas and hardships, and everybody's just trying to do the best for themselves. And, people aren't really bad people. They're just trying to make their own way and do their own thing.
Make bad decisions in life, and you get over it and you move on. Yeah. But people just, we're just very harsh on our young, especially on the younger generation, and that stops the growth. And that stops the promotion of growth. So there's a lot of people that are successful and they can help a lot, but they just stay quiet because they're like, fuck, man, I don't want to be in the spotlight. I don't need all the bullshit.
That's a shame, because it hurts all the other people that could actually get benefit from, the support of some of these guys that have made it, but instead they prefer to keep quiet. I know a lot of these people that they keep quiet, and, when you're loud, they kind of go, oh, Mr. Instagram, or something like that. You probably get it a lot because you're out there in the public,
Yeah, I love it, man. Like, like with the whole Instagram thing, I've met so many incredible people. There's bad sides to it. The bad sides are that you have no privacy. You can't go out and have a few drinks without someone fucking sitting there watching you and shit. So there's the bad sides to it, but the good sides outweigh the bad sides. I mean, you get the message of people saying, how much difference you made in their life or their day. Fuck, man.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
It's huge. Yeah, absolutely. So you pretty much, people will come up to you all the time when you're out and stuff.
Yeah, I don't mind that, man. But sometimes, I feel sometimes, when you go out and stuff, you really can't have a good time. You can't you want to get drunk tonight, have drinks with your friends. You sit there, like there's people that know you, you don't know them.
Yeah, they kind of watch you and stuff. Like, this guy was drunk here. I can't have a good time. You know,
I can't have a good time. I'm not hitting anyone.
Yeah.
So I think you really lose your privacy a lot.
Yeah.
And that's like at the start. I'm not gonna lie. At the start, when you say it's all right, but then it just gets a bit too much. Like you can't park your like. I remember like maybe last year I had a few drinks. So I didn't want to drive down. I was only 2 blocks away.
Yep.
I didn't want to drive because I shouldn't drive. So I left my car there. And then in the morning, there was like a Facebook page about my car being there and everything. And I'm like, man, what the fuck? What do you want to do, man? Drive my car? I don't want to drive, man. I did the right thing. What do you want to do? So you get no fucking privacy at all. And I think that's kind of no good.
Yeah, okay. Crazy. Yeah, and people should not judge people as well because you don't know where.
But the situation is, there's always 2 sides to the story too,
Definitely.
Definitely. Yeah, it's just a part of it.
Sam, tell us about your other businesses. So I know a bit about Broadbent, awesome business. You've had it for a long time. Yeah. Tell us about your new cannabis business. This is exciting. How long have you had this one for?
A couple of years now.
Okay.
So Anodyne Can, we build clinics online to connect patients and doctors together. For me, that's a passion project. It's something that I lose money on every month. So I make no money on it, and I keep getting told, hey, stop putting money into this thing, you know. But I really enjoy it. I did it because it brought me and my sister close together because my sister's been in the pharmaceutical industry for a long time. Okay. So we got the opportunity to work together in the first year of the business. She's moved on now. So I'm still running it. And man, like, as you get older and you get to a place in your life that you're comfortable when it comes to money and all that, the best feeling is to give back. And a lot of people are going through a lot of pain and trauma, and traditional medicine is not helping them. It just isn't. And it's actually doing a lot of harm. Like, people go on, I don't know, man, Valium and all this shit to, help them with the anxiety, people that are taking pain medicine. We got a natural thing. It's natural. It's helping people with pain. It's helping people with, it's not a miracle. It's not fixing things, but it's helping. It's helping people with PTSD. It's helping people who can't sleep at night. It's helping people with pains that traditional medicine hasn't been able to help. Like, if you actually listen to some of the patient stories, and that's the only time you're going to get it. If you actually sit down and listen to some of the patient stories that are coming to these clinics, it's fucking mind-blowing, man.
Is this what drives you as well?
Dude,
like,
it's awesome, man. You're helping people.
For sure.
Like, I don't know fuck all about cannabis. I think I smoked my first joint 2 years ago. And I thought, this is actually cool. I fucking bit delayed bloomer, But like, for me, like, it was, it's something that, like, I did it because I wanted to get close to my sister and do something with my sister, again, about family. Nice. But as I got into it, I realized, fuck, man.
You're having impact.
Yeah, dude. A lot of people are suffering on a daily basis. So for me, it's a project of love. Like I say, it's not a money-making project. So we just import our own product probably a couple of months ago. It's called Alaf, which means grass in Persian. We imported that. So we've got that in pharmacies and stuff at the moment. And then the goal now is to continue to grow our own products in Australia. But yeah, it's a long-term project. It's something that I hope one day not only will help a lot of people, but also starts to be commercially viable. Yep. At the moment, it's not, but it's okay. I'm having fun. I'm learning something. Yep. And it's really interesting because I feel stupid again because I'm not really good at everything that I do within that vertical. It's all new to me. It's like, fuck, I feel like a child. It's like when you go overseas and you go to someone new and you look at it and the first time you look at it with the first time eyes, if you go there 10 times, it becomes normal. But the first time it's like, wow, this is cool. So I'm getting to feel that again and I'm learning a lot. And it's really, really interesting. And I'm meeting great people, man. I'm meeting amazing people in that industry. I met some young kids, young boys, some from Amsterdam, some from Sydney. I caught up with them last week and before we went to dinner, there was around 8 of them. I said to them, come to my office before dinner. So they all came to dinner. I said, listen, before we go to dinner, I'll stand up, I'll tell you about myself for 5 minutes. I want you each to tell me about yourself because I don't know them all well. I know them a little bit here and there. Yep. And listening to the stories, man, it took me back 20 years to when I started. These guys are so passionate and they love each other. They're helping each other out. Like one hired the other one hired the other one. They all met all around the world. Some met on Instagram, some met on an exhibition in Amsterdam, this and that, and they all came together. So it's a bunch of 8 guys that are creating something really special. It was so nice to see that. It took me back to my young days, and I said, look, if I can be a part of it, let's work together, create something together, and they're really keen to do something. So
amazing.
I'm having a lot of fun, man. I'm having a lot of fun with that.
Definitely. And you helped a lot of the young kids. I know, I can tell just by speaking to you that it's something that you're really passionate about. You've come from, a tough time, adversity. You've come from a point where, things were very hard for you, and now you're on top, and now you're able to give back and help people. And I can tell that's something that's really important to you. So,
it is.
We need more people like you. Thank you for doing what you're doing.
Thank you, man.
And is there something that you're really excited about? Is there a way that you can do you want to grow this bigger, or are you just happy to help those very special people that you watch for a year? Like, what's the legacy of Sam going to look like?
I can do all this by means, I can only do so much. I get requests from people every day to catch up for a coffee. I love to be able to catch up for a coffee with everybody, but I just can't do that. Like, my goal and vision would be to, I've already got a charity. I did. The only thing is, I don't want to take money, man. Like, I don't like taking money. Like, I'll do the
you like doing it out of love, I can tell.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable with it, man. Like, I'll have the night at the business table. The money goes to a charity, right? I'll do that once a year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I love that. But I don't like, I'll get always people ask me, listen, I'll pay you, mentor me, this and that. I just don't feel comfortable, man. I don't feel comfortable doing that. So for me, it'd be if I do something, I would love to create some kind of a charity, like a foundation. I really like to focus more on youth, kids from other countries, refugees and all that, because I feel that a lot. So I would like to do a project around getting kids together, because a lot of these kids come to this country from Somalia and Iran and Saudi and all this. It's not Saudi, but Iraq and all that, and they come from a different culture, man. They're not bad people. We're not bad people. We just come here, this whole different culture. And I want to teach these kids to integrate to this society. Integration is the key, man. Yep. If you want to grow in this country, you got to integrate, man. Go love fucking football. Go watch a footy game. Eat a pie. Hang around the Aussies. They're good people, man.
For sure.
But if you don't integrate and you stick in your own little community, man, and your mindset is back to where it was back then how are you going to grow, man? You're not going to grow. You're going to really struggle in this country. I think we bring people in this country, but we don't help them to integrate. And I know friends of mine that did that, and they didn't really do well in life. I integrated, man. I want to hang around Aussies. I love Aussies.
Definitely.
They're cool. Like, I don't just I cannot stay with Iranians. I'll go one Iranian friend. That's it. You know what I mean? Like, don't forget your culture. Don't forget where you're from. That's very important. Your culture, everything is very important. But you got to integrate. So I would love to teach these kids to integrate, man, and grow. Otherwise, you struggle.
Integration is very important. I remember, even back in the day, I'm Italian, but people used to be I never copped it, but my parents would say when they moved here,
no, used to cop it. Your grandparents,
they'll walk. People would tease me about the salami sandwiches. Oh, you fucking walk. But now I feel like now they've all integrated pretty well, and
it's very important. It's very important, man. Like if I can give one piece of advice is that if you're coming from overseas and stuff, man, integrate, man. And meet different kinds of people. You don't want to be the teacher, man. You want to be the student, okay? So always I know we've all heard these sayings, the 5 people around you make you who you are. All that, it's so true, but hang around people that you can learn from. And don't be a dickhead. Like, just listen. Don't think you fucking know it all. Because you don't fucking know it all. I don't know it all. There's always time to learn, So just be humble. Sometimes shut up and listen and take it in. And then when you take it in, do something with it. It's like, people go to these seminars, Tony Robbins and that, they come out fucking pumped up, and then 3 days later, back to their fucking normal life. It's like, fuck, dude. You just went and paid 20 grand for a course. You signed up, you see them signing up for things.
You run to the front to get a book or something.
Shit, man. I hate it. I mean, they're even doing in Australia. I don't want to name names, but look, these Australians are doing this, it's for free. Come, nothing's for free, man.
No.
This is what I hate. This is why I hate taking money. Because I see these things, people set up these seminars, and these guys are well-known Australians that are successful. They got money, man. They're not poor. They set up these seminars for free, and then they fuck people with all these dumb courses. It's like a boxing match. Before the main event, 10 dickheads come up, sell 10 things. Oh, do you want to write a book? Bestseller. That book thing, I don't know if that's still happening. Write a book. I'll teach you how to write a book. And you see people run up 5 grand. Then, oh my God, I got the formula for this and that. Another 5 people, 10 grand. And then the organizers get 5% and 10% of that 10 grand. Man, it's a fucking scheme. And I hate seeing people run up and sign up to this shit, and then they get pumped up, and then 3 days later, they got a credit card bill of 20 grand, 10 grand bullshit they signed up to, and they're back to fucking thing. So you don't need that shit, okay? You don't need to go to this fucking hyped up bullshit. Or if you go and learn from it. Don't sign up to shit. Go and learn from it and implement what you've learned into your life. and make sure you continue to implement it on a daily basis. And that's when people fail, you know. Everybody gets G'd up, you know. They listen to Tina Turner, Simply the Best or something. Fucking
they start doing star jumps and then,
and the next day it's back to normal.
Yeah.
So it's about discipline. It's about consistency.
Yeah, definitely.
Stay consistent and just keep fucking pushing.
Definitely. Sam, I love what you said about also being a student and not trying to be the teacher when you don't know anything. It's a better mindset, isn't it, to say that I don't know anything. Let's learn from you, and people are going to like you better, and you're going to come across a lot more humbly. And
man. You gotta learn. You always continue to learn, man. Like, I'm still learning, man. I've met some incredible people, incredible human beings I've met that are so successful that you're fucking beyond your wildest imagination. And no one knows who these people are, man. They wear $2 t-shirts, drive a $2,000 car. You will never know who the fuck these people are. Yeah. But they're the most amazing, kind, beautiful souls, you know.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have lunch with these people, and I just watch how they speak, watch how they do things, and it's so cool, and there's so much to learn from them, you know. And that's what you got to do, man. You got to hang around people, you know. You got to hang around people that bring something to the table, someone that you can learn from, and you got to give back to them.
Sure.
Like, giving back to them doesn't mean you have to pay them, but just be a gentleman. You know what I mean? Like, just do the
show the appreciation, show your respect. Yeah,
man.
Yeah,
there's different ways of giving back, right?
For sure.
But it works both ways. You know, for me, I love learning. I'm always learning, and I am not afraid to say that, you know, I don't know. I don't know. How am I supposed to know everything? I'm still learning at this age. And I think that's the key, hang around people that are
definitely
more successful than you.
I think you've tapped in really nicely to the mindset that you got to have. You got to have an inquisitive mindset, respectful, always learning, and not be the first one to talk. And when you said about integration before, like I really like that as well. Like, obviously you're not forgetting your culture, but you're integrating. Maybe like being the person who's the first one to extend the olive branch as well.
Yeah, man.
Like I've noticed in my life, like sometimes I'm like, oh shit, should I say hi to that person? Should I not? And I go, oh, hey Sam, how are you? You go, hey, how are you? I've seen what you've done. Thanks for coming to say hi. And you realize that, you know, you're very happy that you were the one that actually reached out.
And people are not going to be rude to you, man. If you do it the right way, they're going to be rude to you.
Exactly.
You know, I think there's a right way and wrong way to go about things. I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
I had COVID a couple of weeks ago, so I was told to stay in a hotel with my wife, not to come home because I don't want to get the kids sick, you know. I ran into a young gentleman who's just been here for maybe, I think a month or so, and he saw my Rolls Royce and he came up to me and said, man, I love your car, what do you do? And I told him what I do and my story, and he was genuinely taken back, and he said to me, look, can I get a job, you know? Can you give me a job and stuff? And I'm like, yeah, man. Like, look, I said, look, man, show me your Instagram, I'll take a photo. I didn't add, I just said, I'll take a photo and I'll get back to you. And I ran into him the next day, and he had gone into the system and looked me up and stuff and added me and stuff. And I'm like, it just came from, it came from his enthusiasm and the desire that he's so hungry that he wants to learn, which I love.
Yeah.
But there's a right way to go about it. Like, you don't go and look up a customer's fucking name on a system and they stay in the hotel. Like, you know, it's just like crossing the line sometimes.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And I wanted to tell him that, not because of telling him off.
Yeah, of course.
It's not telling him off, it's teaching him.
To help him, yeah.
Yeah, help him, man.
Yeah.
You know, that, hey, man, like, you shouldn't do that. Like, that's not really appropriate. Like, you know, I could have been there with my mistress or something. I don't want people to know where the fuck I am. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's about, the reason why I use this example is it's about how you go about things. You got to respect people's privacy.
Definitely.
You know, people see you all the time and like they see you on the road once, they say, hey, I saw you. But every week, hey, I saw you here. I say, it's like, fuck, man, leave me alone.
Yeah, come on,
But you're busting my balls there. But like,
sure. So what would be the right way if somebody, you know, they want to?
The right way is just like you introduce yourself and you live it. Like, say, I'll give you an example. I went to Singapore for a big conference, and the head of a very big hotel group was there, which I don't know him. And I didn't go up to him, you know, I didn't want to disturb him, you know.
Yeah.
He's a global head of, like, the global the leader in that group. Fucking big role, big role. For me, like, it would be a very important connection to have, right? I still didn't go up to him, this and that. I didn't want to bug him, you know. I saw him a few times, but every time I saw him, he was talking to people.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, man, I went to the lounge coming back here, on the airline lounge, and he was sitting next to me where I went to sit down. So I approached him.
Unreal.
And I said, hi, I'm so-and-so.
Yeah.
I know that you were at the conference. Here's my business card.
Yeah.
I didn't mention anything about what I do.
Yeah.
Or I didn't mention that I know him.
Yeah.
I just said, look, if you ever come to Australia, like, you know, I'm a friend, I guess, because, you know, obviously we're in the same industry.
Yeah.
please reach out to me. I would love to show you around.
Yeah.
And he was taken back as, oh, that's very kind of you.
Nice.
Thank you so much, you know. Yeah. I just left it at that. He didn't actually give me his business card back.
Yeah.
He's like, who the fuck's this guy? But that's fine.
Yeah.
That's it. I just left it at that.
That's fine.
Now I left the ball in his court. You know what I mean? I didn't want to intrude him. I didn't go and sit next to him.
Yeah.
Because he said it in his private time.
Sure.
I didn't want to intrude him before he went on his flight.
Yep.
So that's what I mean. Like,
nice.
there's a right way of doing things.
Yeah.
You know, you come up, say hello, introduce yourself.
Yeah.
But then people go too far.
Yes. Yeah, okay.
And what happens is when people go too far, it kind of like turns you off. It's like, man, I got shit to do.
Yeah.
So, and I think it all comes from a good place.
Of course, yeah.
It all comes from a lovely place.
They don't know how to go about it. They're young.
Man.
I've been like this too, yeah.
So have I.
Yeah.
So I think it's a balance on how you do things.
Yeah,
There's a right way and wrong way to go about it.
Yeah, certainly.
But it all comes from a good place.
Sure.
But it's just, you need someone to tell them.
Definitely.
No,
it's
and
good.
hopefully they don't take offense to it and think, oh, this guy's being an asshole. Mm-hmm. It's not about being an asshole. It's about teaching you. So the next time it happens, you approach it the right way, you get a better result.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Or when people ask you, hey, can I have a coffee? Like before you ask someone to have a coffee, like you got to send them an agenda. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah.
Like, you can't just sit down and have a conversation about nothing. Like your time is valuable, man. Like I got a company to run, and everybody does. Yeah. So if you want to really talk to me about something, send me an agenda. What do you want to talk to me about? Yeah. And then I can say, okay, mate, something that I'm interested to talk to you about. I can help you. Oh, sorry, I'm not the right guy. I can't help you. So there's no point catching up.
For sure.
If I see you, say hello, how are you? I love that, but. You know,
doesn't need to be too much more than that. Yeah. Sam, I want to talk about as well, maybe some of the things that people can relate to, some of your major setbacks and some of the things where you thought, oh, you know, that one really hurt. And maybe let's talk about some of the major setbacks and some of the tougher things that have happened. Yep. And then let's talk about some of the wonderful things that have happened that you didn't even think, like some of the things that just changed the projection of your life. So maybe we could either start with the amazing things that have happened and the game-changing stuff, or the things that were really tough and how you kind of overcame that adversity.
There's been a lot of tough things, man. There's still tough things still happen today. Like, you know, last week I lost 3 staff. Like, I'm in the process of doing some stuff globally, and like, you know, I'm trying to put my focus on that, and then I'll get drawn back into dealing with staff matters. Yeah. So, you know, and it really hurts and sets you back when you lose.
How do you manage
staff.
that? Like, what's the mindset? You
got to be fucking positive, man. You got to move forward. Like, first of all, it hurts. It's like, fuck, like, you know, I invested so much time and effort on these people.
You don't waste time thinking about it. Let's do it.
You're going to look at it from their point of view, and they want to grow and they want to do things. You can't just think about it your point of view. They want to grow as part of their growth. They need to move and do things, and you can't hold that against them.
Sure.
But it fucking annoys you and it pulls you back, so you got to get back into it again. But you just got to deal with it, man. Like, you can't sit there and feel sorry for yourself. Listen, if something's happened, it's happened. There's nothing you can do to reverse time. If I had a magic fucking thing that I could do that reverses time, I'd be a very successful man. So you cannot control what's happened. I learned this at a very young age. I was at a pub having a chicken parma with one of my big bosses back in the day, and he lost a shopping center deal. He built shopping centers. He was my boss in an internet company, but he also had other businesses. Something happened with the shopping center deal, and I could overhear the conversation. You know, this bloke hangs up and he starts eating his chicken parma and having his beer, and like nothing's happened. I'm like, what the fuck? So he's a young kid, you know, I was probably 26, 27. I'm like, hey, Greg, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be rude, man. Like, you know, I overheard this conversation. Like, I'll be fucking pissed. I was trying to fucking beer. I was like, fuck this. I would have fucking left. Yeah. And he turned around and he goes, listen, Sam, it's done. There's nothing I can do about it. So I can get angry and cause myself anxiety and cancer from all the toxicness inside me by being angry and pissed off. Yeah. Or I just move on to the next thing and deal with it. There's nothing you can do about it, right? So when things happen, don't get too caught up on it. Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking annoying. I know it's annoying. Yeah. But you got to take a deep breath. Okay, it's happened. How do I maneuver? How do I make sure 3 other staff don't leave? How do I make sure that, you know, I address things maybe better than I have in the past? How do I fix things so we can move forward? So things always happen. Bad things happen. You always, like, you know, at one stage, I almost lost 70% of my business, sold it for $2 million. And back then, it was like, fuck, man, I just about to lose 70% of my business. I used to not sell to hotels direct. I used to sell it to 3 wholesalers, and those 3 wholesalers used to sell it to the hotels. One of the wholesalers was 70% of my business. Had a change in management. The guy that came in his brother had an IT company, so he wanted to give up the business to his brother. Yeah. So he started taking it away from us. And I'm like, oh, fuck, what do I do now? Almost sold the business at $2 million, but the guy that was going to buy from me monetarily wanted to buy 70%, so basically have full control and not give me the 100%.
Yep.
He sees me and he's like, fuck, I should have gave you the money, man. I'm like, I love the guy, we're still good friends. You know, he's like, fuck, I fucked up. I'm like, man, I told you to give my 2 million. Like, fuck. I'm like, thank God I didn't take it. But everything happens for a reason, you know? So that taught me to diversify and go to every hotel direct and not have those 3 things. So you're always going, you know, we could have a customer because we do contractual work for, you know, we sign a customers for 5 years. Customers had the best experience of fucking 4 years and 11 months, just about to sign a contract, the internet goes down. I'm like, fucking kidding me. What the fuck? Someone cut the fiber in the street. What can I do? They're about to re-sign a contract. 5 years, this has been good. Some prick cuts a fucking fiber in the street. They're doing a building site, construction. And now the internet's down. Now they're angry. Oh, now we have to go back to the whiteboard and have to fucking convince this guy that it wasn't us. Someone cut the fiber. So, God, there's always challenges, man. It doesn't matter. You can have $100 million, $2 million, $1. You still have challenges. It's got nothing to do with it.
For sure.
It's just part of life, part of business, right? So just got to be positive, man.
So being successful in business and being in business is not for everybody.
No, it's not, man.
But you have to have incredible stress management, it sounds like.
You have to, man. Yeah. It's not fucking easy.
Yeah.
People see all these nice things. They think it's fucking easy. It's not easy. Exactly. I still wake up to work every day, man. I still work every day.
For sure.
I didn't buy fucking Bitcoin and become rich overnight. I fucking built an empire for 20 years, dude.
For sure.
Like, that's not fluke.
For sure.
Okay, when you do something for 10, 20 years, it's just not fucking fluke. You got to be working hard and getting something right. You know, you win money on Bitcoin and shit like that's a fucking fluke. And that's a good fluke. Good luck to everyone. I'm happy for them. Good luck for them to have the foresight to pick something up. And that's amazing.
For sure.
But that's fucking luck.
Definitely.
Okay? That's just pure luck.
Sam, what are some of the things that you're most excited about at the moment for your future, for what you want to do? What gets you out of the bed in the morning? Because, you know, you've been comfortable now.
I love seeing my kids do it in the morning. I get out of bed to see my kids and fuck around with them.
Yeah.
I love the girls, man. They're cool. They're fucking awesome, dude. I don't know, man. I want to slow down. Like, you know, I just want to slow down. And like other weekend, I spend 2 days at home every day. Fucking felt so good, dude. Did nothing. Yeah. I watch a lot of shows on Netflix. I had the best time ever, dude. Yeah. Like, I've been to all the fancy places, man. I've done all that shit. Like, it doesn't excite me anymore, dude. Like, if I want to be happy, I'll go to a Turkish restaurant down Mooney Ponds and I'm the happiest man in the world. Yeah. So what excites me is just basic things in life, to answer your question. Yeah. Basic, man. Spend time with the family, seeing my good friends, picking on each other, giving each other shit. We got a chat group where there's 5 of us and we just bag each other all day. It's fucking funny. We're such assholes to each other, you know? If someone looks at it from outside, they're like, whoa, these guys are going to kill each other. But we're best friends.
The simple things.
Yeah, dude.
The simple things, bro.
I love that, man. Like, I never thought I would. Yeah. Because I always chase the cool things.
Yes.
Always chase the fancy shit.
Yeah.
But as I'm getting older, man, I don't know what the fuck's going on with me. But I'm really wanting the simple life, and I guess I could say that. Yeah. To be fair, because I'm comfortable enough to say that. Yeah. If I wasn't comfortable enough to say that, obviously I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't be that place. So thank God, you know, God and everybody else that's helped me along the way. You know, I never raised capital. I never raised money. I did everything myself. Right. I didn't take a cent from anybody. Yeah. I built everything myself. There's not fucking investors, this bullshit, oh, come invest in me, give me 10 million, I'll go and build. Yeah. Everything was done. But what I had was people around me that gave me love. Yep. They gave me love. They made time for me. They believed in me. They gave me opportunity. And that's worth millions of dollars, man.
Absolutely. And Sam, like, you've got it all on the external as well. You know, the external, you absolutely ticked all the boxes. I don't know how many supercars you've got. You've got the Ferraris, the Lamborghinis, Rolls, all of this. But it sounds like, you know, you're very kind of astute and super switched on in the internal as well. Yeah.
You have to be, man.
Yeah, that's more important.
You got to get to know yourself, dude. Yeah. Like I said, we're not perfect. We all have a lot of faults. You got to acknowledge who you are as a person. Yeah. One advice I give you all, fuck people and what they think of you, man. People judge you as soon as you walk in the door based on your attire, your skin color, your hair color, your eye color, the way you speak, the way you conduct yourself. They will fucking judge you. No matter what, they will judge you on something. But they don't pay your fucking bills, so their opinion doesn't fucking matter. So stop worrying about what people think of you. I did for probably 30 years of my life. I was a people pleaser. And fuck that. Fuck that. Be a good human being. Don't rob people. Don't be a con artist. do the fucking right thing. Every deal you do it out of heart and kindness, and make sure it's a win-win for everybody. Everybody has to win. Don't do deals that's just one way. It's just not the right way to go about things. Always go above and beyond what you do. Stick to your word. But mate, you gotta just not worry about other people, because all you're gonna do is just worry about what people think of you, and you never get to live your life the way you want to live your life. So just stay focused on you and do you, and find a couple of good people. You only need 4 or 5 people. You don't have time for more. That love you for you, and they inspire you. You know, they're there when you want to laugh. They're there when you want to cry. And they go on the journey of life and love with you. You know, it's a big journey, life and love. And it's a beautiful thing, man. And just remember, you only get one shot at this. You know, once you die, it's all over, man. I'm not a believer of heaven or hell and shit. This is your heaven or hell. It's what you make out of it here. And just live the best version of your life, and don't apologize for being who you are, and continue to improve yourself and learn. I've got a lot of improvements to do. I'm still trying to be the best version of myself. I'm trying, you know. I'm a very hard critic of myself. I'm probably the most hardest critic of myself, and because I know I can be a better person, I can continue to be a better person. But that comes with age and knowledge and mistakes. You make mistakes along the way. You learn from those mistakes, you know. As long as you're trying your best to be a best person, and as long as you never do something to upset someone, as long as it doesn't come from a bad place. I'm sure we're always going to upset somebody in our lives, but it never comes from a bad place. As long as it never came from menace. So don't be menacing. Don't be, don't go out of your way to hurt people. Definitely. Or be a bad person, man. And unfortunately, you see those people around, man. There's people like that. They're just unbelievable. I don't understand how people can be like that. It's pretty sad. And when you see people like that, it's really sad. You can't change them, man. I think everything comes from your childhood. Unfortunately, a lot of people have had a really rough childhood, and especially being a multicultural country, we get people from different parts of the world where they've suffered a lot, and they come here, and unfortunately, it's a little bit too late. I wish them all the best, and I hope that they can change. But just got to be mindful of that, and just stick to your little group and meet great people that can teach you stuff, and also you don't need to spend a lot of time with a lot of people. Small time is beautiful time. It's good time. Yeah. When you start focusing, you spend the time with someone too much, expectations gets too much, and it causes all sorts of problems. So just do your thing, do your own time. Yeah, definitely. Sam, some absolutely incredible points that you've made today. I think that we've went into the deeper level of what allows you to excel in business, what allows you to be a good person, the way you should live your life, and some of the lessons that it sounds like it took 30 years for you to learn. And obviously, I've gotten a lot out of today's session as well, so thank you very much. You're welcome. I feel like, people should be watching this 2 or 3 times, listening to this with intent, because there's some absolute gold in here. And I really think that you touched on some really important blueprints on how you should live your life, and not people-pleasing, not worrying about what other people think of you, the judgment, people are going to judge you anyway, and always being ethical. And I think there's some absolute gold in what you've said. So I hope people are really taking on board each and every word that you're saying, because it's going to improve their life and it's going to help them be better people. So Sam, thank you very much for today. I really appreciate it. It's great to see you again, my friend. Good to see you too, bro. It's lovely. It's been a while since I've seen you. So, and before we go, I just want to say thank you for you to, even though we don't catch up a lot, you always support me with all my events. My last few events, you're one of the first people that bought a ticket, and that means the world to me, because that money goes to charity. So thank you for always supporting me and being a supporter of me and what I do for a great cause. And we need people like this as well. So thank you very much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thanks, Sam. Thanks for everything you do. And appreciate today. Thanks, man.